ought to be saints so God can use you anywhere. I love that. And that's another thing I'm trying to learn, is to be of use everywhere. And let God be a piece of my life everywhere, in every part of it. And thus far, when I've been able to get out of his way, it's been glorious. It's been really lovely, and it's made things easier, and feel clean too. It's a cleansing. Anyway, first portion, or maybe even just the one thing I'm going to read so as not to confuse, is 1 Corinthians 2:4, which I think I've actually read before on here, but this is Paul writing to Corinth pretty early in the letter. Actually, I'll just read the whole little first part. And I, brethren, when I came to you, did not come with excellence of speech or of wisdom declaring to you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. I was with you in weakness, in fear, and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching were not with persuasive words of human wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not be in the wisdom of men, but the power of God. Pretty heady, right? Now, in some ways, that is kind of frustrating because, I don't know, what I'm trying to do on here, I guess, is not necessarily be strictly flowery and wise and persuasive. I am trying to just be real and come to you guys and come just to him. And this is kind of part of my tithes and offerings of my creative self. So I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to dash anything off and not give it my all. But I think there is something, I know there's something wise in what Paul is saying, in that it's so funny because it's a lot of what used to frustrate me about like television preachers, you know, that they would have all this slickness going on, and the hair would be done, and they'd be clean shaven, and like, hey there, and until they have their rap down. But I'd just be like, I don't know, but you're rapping so much that what are you talking about? You know? So I just prayed this morning just that the Holy Spirit would be on my lips and get me out of the way. And I realize I need to pray that more throughout my life. That even though I know, I guess, in the eternal sense that I am incapable of my own fulfillment, that Jesus Christ is the fulfillment of all that I could never be, and in him I have so much joy because of his life and because of his death. But I do place a lot of a certain amount of credence in my own wit and wisdom, and my joy with words, and my joy with communicating to people or being paid attention to even. I'm an actor. But today I'm going to try to stop because it's already 5 minutes, and that's actually one of the reasons I've been trying to shorten my thing down, is just to speak God's truth and maybe talk about myself a little bit, just because I'm the person he's working in, and if you're watching this, I'm the person you know or have seen elsewhere, or I don't know. There you go. Well, I've gotten rid of the fluidity with ease. And it's so funny because it makes you nervous when you're not deliberately being fluid, because then you're like, oh, well, then I'm not giving it my all. But I'm going to try to, at least for the next couple weeks, try to figure this out, and where to be fluid and where to simply be his, because I know being his is a lot more important than being witty, as much as I love a good turn of phrase or the laughter of friends. And I, brethren, when I came to you, did not come with excellence of speech or of wisdom, declaring you the testimony of God. For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. I was with you in weakness, in fear, and in much trembling. That right there is super key, actually. Be with someone in weakness, fear, and trembling, and still let God be working in you and buoying you. That is a powerful witness. I apologize for not being here in full weakness and fear, but I'm going to work on it. Hopefully we'll get some real delicious stuff, and you can see, instead of just hear, about how Christ has worked in my life, because, man, words cannot explain it. That's why I've run out of them already. And my speech and my preaching were not with persuasive words of human wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, that your faith should not be in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. 1 Corinthians 2, 1 through 5. And God bless you all.